A 77-year-old factory in a small Ohio town sputtered into high gear to produce a new line of electric garbage trucks. Just a short drive away, construction began on a $20 billion plant that will take silicon wafers and turn them into computer chips. These chips will be used in everything from data centers to cars.
With semiconductors, that's a strategic investment. Semiconductors go in 300 subsectors of the economy, and so it's an important part of everything else we do. So you got to put that at the top of the food chain.
Reuters toured both Ohio factories. Ohio-based truck maker Battle Motors will operate one of those factories, and California-based semiconductor producer Intel Corporations will operate the other. For Battle Motors, federal and state incentives were a major factor in setting up the factory in Ohio.
Initial idea was we could do this in Arizona, we could do this in California, right? But because they told us we couldn't find people within in proximity. We found several hundred, right?
Then Patterson saw a key advantage in buying a factory that already made garbage trucks. These trucks only needed some changes to allow them to run on batteries. Battle Motors and Intel's new projects aim to revive the U.S. manufacturing sector, and they're able to do this with the support of federal subsidies and tax breaks. President Biden's administration passed the 2022 CHIPS and Science Act. This will provide $52.7 billion in federal subsidies for semiconductor production and research. But how much of that goes to Intel and Battle Motors is currently unclear. Ohio's lieutenant governor says projects like Intel are a chance to hit the reset button on fostering key U.S. industries.
When we allowed the semiconductor industry and other vital parts of our economic foundations to be reliant on countries overseas, that was a mistake. In the Midwest, Northeast paid dearly for that mistake. But now it's an opportunity for us to hit the reset button to realize what's in our strategic national, economic, and national defense interests.
But reviving the country's manufacturing sector is no easy task. Industry experts and political leaders say worker shortages and growing influence from foreign governments all create challenges for the U.S. market.
30 years ago, Taiwan and Korea, China all sat down and they said, we want to build these semiconductor industries that we have. And so they really focused on putting policies in place, whether that was incentives, which can help cover up to, even up to half the cost of the fab. They give, free land, they give tax breaks, they give cash incentives. So they have a whole variety of things.
Another challenge lies with the mixed emotions around green technology.
When Battle Motors came into being, there was a little bit of skepticism because it was a company that produced electric vehicles, and that's something that's brand new to this part of Ohio. And people have mixed emotions sometimes when you start talking about green technology, but it's something that we've embraced here because we understand EVs and we also understand technology.
The more and more of these electric vehicles that we can get out, the better it is for the environment. It really is. I mean, that's why that's why we're doing this. But it's now becoming financially sensible to do it.
The introduction of electric vehicles also raises the question of how to recycle the lithium batteries. Automotive industry experts previously told NTD that current disposal processes harm the environment. Another issue is building a power grid capable of charging the electric garbage truck fleets. Ron Cole, the fleet manager for Los Angeles' sanitation department, said cities may need to build new power lines to simply bring in enough electricity.
We're getting ready to have up to 5 vehicles, Class 8 vehicles that we're going to be demoing probably starting as early as February or March. We're going to have 120 plus vehicles in some of our yards. That would equal around 50 to 60 megawatts that would have to come in to those yards to charge those vehicles overnight. So that's a daunting task.
The push for new policies to help U.S. industries has opened opportunities for both factories, but significant hurdles remain. But once the 2 new factories in Ohio start producing, they could create an abundance of EV and semiconductor jobs and products.